Have you ever seen someone so unique they could stop you in your tracks? From mind-blowing physical traits to conditions so rare they baffle science, these people are living proof that being different is powerful. In today's video, we're counting down 15 of the most unusual people in the world. Each one of these remarkable individuals is truly one in a million. Their stories will shock you, inspire you, and leave you speechless. So, without any further chit-chat, let's get started. Number 15. Mithun Chauhan. Mithun from India has spent his life with neurofibromatosis, a rare condition that causes tumors to grow across the body. He was born without any signs, but over time the lumps appeared, on his arms, face, legs, and chest, growing into massive distortions that impaired vision and made daily life unbearable. He was rejected everywhere. Kids stared, adults whispered, teachers wouldn't accept him, strangers treated him like a disease. His name faded, only his condition remained. Then a crowdfunding campaign changed everything. Donations covered multiple surgeries. Doctors removed the largest growths, restored his eyesight, and gave him back a version of himself. For the first time in years, he could look in the mirror without pain. He started going out again. He plays cricket. He talks about opening a shop. He's no longer just that boy with tumors. He's Mithun, resilient and reclaimed. The disorder didn't disappear, but his identity came back stronger. Some stories aren't about cures, they're about reclamation. Number 14. Charmaine Sahadeo. This woman from Trinidad lives with one of the most severe cases of NF1 doctors have ever seen. Since age 13, thousands of tumors have overtaken her face, limbs, and entire body. One growing so large in her mouth she named it Frank. She could barely breathe, walk, or eat. Desperate for help, she traveled 4,000 miles to LA to meet Dr. Ryan Osborne, a head and neck surgeon who agreed to operate. Because tumors covered so much of her body, they couldn't find a vein for anesthesia. So she underwent the first 13-hour surgery fully awake, under local anesthetic. Over 10 weeks, she had 24 surgeries totaling 60 hours. Dozens of tumors were removed, including Frank and the massive growth on her leg. She now walks, breathes, and smiles freely. "I feel beautiful," she said. "I came back a different person." For Charmaine, it wasn't just about healing. It was about reclaiming a life that had been slowly slipping away. Number 13. Diwaker Bisoye. This man lives in a small Indian village covered in thousands of tumors caused by a genetic disorder. What started as a few bumps 15 years ago has grown into a full-body condition, including a massively swollen leg weighing nearly 56 pounds. Doctors said surgery might help, but no care exists nearby. Meanwhile, Diwaker has become an outcast. "People treat me worse than a stray animal," he says. Strangers avoid him. Landlords refuse to rent to him, and he's been unemployed for over 15 years. Locals whisper, point, and assume he's contagious. The tumors haven't just altered his body, they've erased his place in society. His condition forces him into isolation, not because of pain, but because of judgment. He longs to work, live among people again, and be seen for who he is, not what grew on him. In a place where compassion should lead, Diwaker's story shows just how quickly ignorance can push someone to the margins. Number 12. Andriadi Putra. This 34-year-old from Indonesia was born with what looked like a birthmark. Over time, that mark became something else entirely. Diagnosed with neurofibromatosis, he now lives with tumors weighing over 30 kilograms across his body. The largest one swells across his stomach and chest, making it nearly impossible to walk or even breathe properly. He hasn't worked in years. Basic tasks like going to the bathroom or falling asleep now depend on physically moving his tumors for comfort. Doctors once said he'd need massive blood donations for surgery, something his family couldn't afford. Since then, he hasn't seen a doctor. Despite the discomfort, public stares, and deep emotional toll, Andriadi tries to stay positive. "Maybe this is a gift from Allah," he says. "I must be patient." With support from his family and faith, he pushes through each day, playing on his phone, smiling when he can, and holding on to hope that one day he'll find relief. Number 11. Tio Satrio. Well, Tio Satrio doesn't need sympathy or limbs to win. This young boy from West Java, Indonesia, was born without arms or legs, yet he does everything his own way. His mother only learned about his condition the day he arrived. From that moment, Tio began figuring life out by himself. He eats with his chin, writes with his shoulder, and opens snacks with his mouth. He's sharp in math, quick with humor, and a beast with a PlayStation controller, using only his chin to play. His classmates don't treat him as fragile. They joke, compete, and push his wheelchair like teammates, not caretakers. Teachers expect results, and he delivers every time. There's no drama to his routine, just effort, focus, and consistency. He wakes up, studies, plays, and laughs. He doesn't want pity. He wants control. And watching the way he handles himself, it's clear. Tio's already mastered the one thing most people never do, living freely and happily. Number 10. Zhou Chuna. Zhou Chuna was once praised across China for her natural beauty. Large eyes, soft skin, and doll-like symmetry that turned heads. But that same beauty became her undoing. Obsessed with perfection, she set out to rebuild herself in the image of Western ideals. One surgery became dozens: widened eyes, narrower nose, sculpted jaw, reshaped cheeks. She mapped every procedure with precision and documented the journey online. At first, her followers applauded. Every new selfie was flooded with praise, but over time, her tone shifted. She began posting about regret. The mirror no longer felt familiar. The face looking back wasn't hers anymore. Her identity, once her pride, had vanished under layers of surgery and expectation. Zhou's story isn't about vanity. It's about what happens when self-image turns into self-erasure. In chasing beauty, she lost the very person she'd been. It's haunting, not glamorous. A modern tragedy about how far people go to fit into someone else's reflection. It's, just insane. Number 9. Khaled bin Mohsen Shaari. For years, Khaled's entire world fit inside one room. Weighing over 1,300 pounds, he couldn't move, sit up, or even breathe easily. His family could only watch as his health faded, until the Saudi king intervened. A crane lifted Khaled from his home, a forklift carried him to an aircraft, and he was flown to Riyadh for treatment. From there, his transformation began. Within 4 months, he lost over 660 pounds. Years later, he reached 139. The process was brutal. Surgeries, rehabilitation, endless therapy. Some days he used a walker, other days, nothing at all. Yet his smile never left. Locals began calling him the Smiling Man, not because he lost weight, but because he found life again. Khaled didn't chase fame or records. He simply wanted freedom, to breathe, to move, to walk outside. Step by slow, painful step, he rebuilt everything he'd lost. From near tragedy to triumph, his comeback remains one in a million. Number 8. Julia Zlata Gunthel. Zlata from Kazakhstan bends like no one else on earth. By age 4, her body moved in ways that seemed almost impossible. Back arched in half, spine folded like silk. Her extreme flexibility comes from a rare condition that gives her ligaments unnatural elasticity, letting her twist into shapes that defy anatomy without pain. By adulthood, Zlata could fold backward until her head touched her heels, fit into glass boxes, and form geometric shapes with her body. She's held multiple Guinness World Records, including one for opening the most beer bottles with her feet in under a minute. But Zlata never treated it as a stunt. It's art. Her performances on stage, TV, and in photography blend strength and surrealism. Watching her is like watching anatomy rewritten in real time. Through discipline and control, she turned a physical anomaly into mastery. Zlata isn't just flexible, she's a living sculpture, proof that the body can be both fragile and infinite. Number 7. Nick Stoeberl. Nick Stoeberl is an artist from California, and this guy built his name on one unforgettable feature, his tongue. Measuring 10.1 centimeters, nearly 4 inches from tip to lip, it earned him a Guinness World Record as the man with the longest tongue on Earth. But instead of turning it into a gimmick, Nick turned it into art. Literally. He paints with it. Dipping his tongue into paint, he creates vivid abstract pieces that have been showcased around the world. His creativity landed him on America's Got Talent, where he performed live and stunned both judges and audiences. In 2023, he set another Guinness record, removing 5 Jenga blocks with only his tongue in record time. Outside the spotlight, he's humble, a musician, a cook, and a film enthusiast who laughs easily at his own strangeness. Nick never asked to be extraordinary, he just used what he had. And in doing so, he turned something odd into something unforgettable. Number 6. Mahendra Ahirwar. Life is a unique gift from God. It's a truth Mahendra Ahirwar clung to, even as his head hung upside down due to a rare muscle condition called congenital myopathy. Born in India, Mahendra's neck was so weak it bent completely forward, his chin pressed to his chest for years. He couldn't eat, walk, or bathe without his mother's help. She once said it broke her to watch him suffer. But in 2016, his story reached a surgeon named Dr. Krishnan, who offered a life-changing operation. Titanium plates realigned Mahendra's spine, and for the first time, he looked straight ahead. He returned to school. He smiled more. His life opened up. But just months later, at age 13, Mahendra died suddenly at home, likely from a cardiac or respiratory complication. His story reached millions. His bravery inspired real change. Mahendra lived most of his life in pain, but for one powerful moment, he stood tall, and he saw the world exactly as it was. Number 5. Michiel Vandeweert. Michiel from Belgium is 23 but looks decades older. He was born with progeria, which speeds up aging 8 times faster than normal. He spent his life in fast forward. Doctors said he wouldn't live past 12, but he's long outlived that number and their expectations. Childhood wasn't easy. He was bullied, mocked, and stared at. Yet he never stopped smiling. Today, he drives, snowboards, tattoos anime characters across his skin, and streams on Twitch. He's open about his journey, mixing honesty with humor. "My body's old, but my soul's young," he says, a line that fits him perfectly. Instead of hiding, he speaks up, showing that courage isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about living anyway. Now one of the world's oldest people with progeria, Michiel continues proving that strength isn't physical, it's spiritual. Every laugh, every adventure, every sunrise he sees is borrowed time, and he's using it better than most of us ever will. Number 4. Ernestine Shepherd. Ernestine Shepherd is what discipline looks like when it refuses to age. Born in 1936, she didn't touch a dumbbell until 56, after losing her sister and needing purpose again. What began as morning walks turned into marathons, weight training, and a complete transformation. Today, she's recognized as the world's oldest female bodybuilder, her physique sharper than athletes half her age. She wakes at 4 a.m., runs miles, lifts heavy, and lives by clean eating and consistency. But muscles are only part of her story. Ernestine's real power is how she changes what aging means. She motivates crowds through speeches, classes, and competitions, proving that time doesn't define strength. Discipline does. Her calm focus, radiant health, and humble attitude have inspired thousands to move, lift, and believe again. She isn't just building a body, she's building perspective. Ernestine Shepherd turned grief into a legacy and showed the world that starting late doesn't mean finishing small. What do you think about her? Let us know. Number 3. Sidney de Carvalho Mesquita. Sidney, better known as Uncle Tio Chico, is Brazil's undisputed master of human extremes. He holds the Guinness World Record for farthest eyeball protrusion by a man, pushing his eyes 18.2 millimeters outward. He discovered his bizarre gift at 9 while goofing around in front of a mirror. What looked like a joke became his trademark. In 2022, Guinness officially recognized his record after he held the bulge for 30 seconds straight. The act blurs his vision and dries his eyes but causes no pain. Sidney credits both genetics and divine blessing for his rare ability. Nicknamed Uncle Fester, after the Addams family, he leans into the resemblance with humor and charm. Though someone later broke his record, Sidney never lost his legacy. He remains a legend for turning something strange into something spectacular. In a world chasing perfection, he made oddity unforgettable, proving that uniqueness isn't weird. It's power, pure and simple. Number 2. The Kayan women. The Kayan women of Myanmar and northern Thailand are known for a tradition that mesmerizes outsiders and divides opinions: the brass neck rings. Beginning as early as age 5, girls start wearing stacked coils that press the collarbone down, creating the illusion of an elongated neck. Despite the legend, the neck doesn't stretch. The torso reshapes around the rings. Some say it's beauty. Others say protection, from tigers or as homage to mythical dragons. In Thailand, the practice evolved into tourism. Long-neck villages now draw curious visitors, cameras, and controversy. Critics call it exploitation. Supporters call it heritage. Many women continue for pride, identity, and livelihood, while others quietly remove the coils to live freely. In Myanmar, younger generations are letting the custom fade. Between tradition and autonomy, the Kayan women stand as living contradictions, symbols of endurance, culture, and the cost of being seen. Their grace tells a deeper story. Beauty and burden can wear the same gold. Number 1. Nyla. Nyla is a 5-year-old from Los Angeles who's become a pint-sized style icon, all while living with a rare condition called ichthyosis. The disorder causes her skin to grow too quickly, leaving it dry, scaly, and vulnerable. She also can't sweat properly, making her prone to overheating. Managing it takes work. Nyla bathes multiple times a day to remove the buildup and stay comfortable. But none of it stops her from living fully. She loves dressing up, painting her nails, and striking poses like a natural. Even with daily struggles, Nyla radiates confidence and joy. Her story stands out because she owns every inch of who she is. Being different doesn't slow her down. It's part of what makes her shine. With support from her family and her own fearless energy, Nyla proves that confidence doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from knowing exactly who you are. And Nyla? She's not just surviving, she's sparkling. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you very soon.